warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome to Talk Zone, where we're going to discuss some of the issues in the Darussalam that we, the Bruneians especially, should be concerned with. I'm Afiefah.
I'm Faiq.
So, welcome. So, what's the topic for today?
The topic for today is one of the more interesting ones.
Yeah.
They're all the more interesting. Today we're going to talk about peer pressure. And we're going to look at the positive and negative aspects about it. So, what, in your opinion, what would you say peer pressure is?
I think I have my own definition. I think peers basically means that people who are in the same social group. So peer pressure refers to when the people feel are influenced to act out like their peers. So it's like basically since everyone's doing it, I might as well do it. So we also have a couple of guests here. So it's not going to be just the of us to discuss it. So
let's just go straight to them. So we have here Apri.
Hi.
So Apri, how are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty well, and the weather is pretty good today. It's pretty cool.
Yep, it kind of looks like that. So we also have here Mahyuddin, Othman.
So how do you feel, Mahyuddin?
Currently I feel nervous, but I don't know, I'm feeling good.
Yeah, happy to have you here. I also have Khalid, and so hi.
Yeah.
So it seems like you're pretty dressed up today. What time did you wake up?
I woke up at 7.
Oh, wow, I think you woke up at 4 a.m.
Probably.
So, okay, let's just ask them. Yeah, we should talk about peer pressure. So.
Okay, so we're going to dive into the first topic. So, what do you think are the negative and positive aspects of peer pressure, Ainul?
Well, I guess it depends on what you are conforming to. So if you are asked to, if you're pressured to do something that is positive, for example, getting your education, like your group of friends are these people who are always number one in school, and so you feel pressured to be number one as well, or else you don't feel like you belong there. So I think that's good. You learn how to study well and study techniques, even though the intention at first isn't true, like you don't really want to improve yourself, but you just want to conform. But in the end, you actually learn something positive, like learning techniques. And the negative aspects, I would think, would be if you're pressured to do something really bad. For example, you're pressured to skip school sometimes, and then if you're pressured to, for example, smoking is a really bad thing right now, in especially the teens nowadays. And so you can see a lot of your friends are smoking, and then you just feel pressured to be smoking. So I guess that's like one of the negative aspects of peer pressure.
I mean, that's interesting talking about the negative aspects, but I think we kind of want to focus a bit more on the positive aspects, especially when it comes to, say, academic performance. So what are your experiences of, say, like utilizing almost peer pressure for, academically in that sense?
Okay. Can you actually repeat that? I don't really quite understand the question.
So it's more kind of like, your own experience, kind of like, everyone that you know perhaps is kind of like high achievers. What's your experience of that?
Well, it's kind of horrible because they always get like A stars in class and I always get like B's, so I wanted to be like one of them, so I was very pressured to do it, so it was kind of...
But at the end, you do well.
Yes.
So it's a positive. So it's a positive aspect for you.
Yes.
So that's interesting. So were you in any part of the clique or group?
I believe I was not in any part of the clique or group, but other people seeing it might say that I was part of a clique.
Okay.
Well, honestly, I wouldn't say I was, but I guess I'm going to have to agree with him on the first thing that he said about other people labeling us, because honestly I tend to disagree with whatever stereotype that are filmed to me. So another thing I would have to say is probably because I like hanging out with my group of friends because they make me comfortable, and I don't honestly not really care what other people say.
Okay.
So you have the same thoughts, kind of like, it's okay what other people say, and I can do my own thing.
I guess so. I mean, I'm pretty confident about myself. I'm happy where I am. Well, I was maybe in a social group because I spent my high school in Australia, so we more have a cultural group, so people call us the Bruneians more or less, but I'm proud of that. Yeah, so, I mean, so that's what, so you didn't hang out with any other... Well, we did. Because we usually hang out for lunch with each other, and it's much easier to talk to each other as well. So I guess that's what people would see as, but not cliques as in having the popular, the jocks and stuff like that. I think I had it like common.
So would you say that we would have more pressure to do something that everyone else is doing because they think it's right? In that sense, kind of like.
Well, I guess when it comes to moral reasons, I guess yes, because I'm not really easily pressured to do things, but I do feel very pressured when it comes to education, just like Moise, because I got a scholarship to Australia, and the group of friends that I'm with, they're always getting really high marks and got lessons as well. So, but I did it because I felt really bad about myself. I didn't feel proud about myself. But like, how can my friends do it? But why can't I? So that's more of the pressure that I felt. Is it the same with Mahyud?
Well, I suppose. I mean, I do feel pressured sometimes because, positively though, because my group of friends, they're quite experimental in terms of what they eat. Okay. For me, I'm not really experimental, I guess. It was a trip to a sushi restaurant, I think, because previously I did not like sushi, and all of my friends, they love sushi, and I guess I was sort of peer pressured into eating it, so yeah.
But you did it.
Yeah, I did it. I'm actually craving for it right now.
So really for everybody, I mean, to go down to academic, from the academic aspect, would you say, do you feel pressure to do anything else other than that when you're in the group?
Well, I don't think so. There's academically, positively, right? Well, you can build confidence too. We're hanging out with a group of friends, then individually, alone, you feel alienated from other peers, so it's kind of horrible feeling, I guess.
What about the negative aspects?
Negative aspect would be losing a sense of individuality. You don't have your own thing, you're just following other people.
So do you realize that? I mean, you should realize that back then too.
Not really for me, no, because I'm very complex as an individual. I don't really follow what people say or what people tell me to do.
Seems like everyone here is like, I don't care what people say. I'm fine with myself. So that's good.
But I guess everyone here is kind of making a transition into university as well.
Yeah.
So how do you feel now that you're out of school? Like, do you still feel like you're those school people, or the people, schoolmates, kind of like have somehow influenced you still? Or do you feel now that you can make your own choices outside of that, Mahyuddin?
Well, I guess I wouldn't say that, but there are a few friends that call me up, contact me, and hanging out. And they sometimes do influence me because there are certain things that I am not willing to try. I guess like food, like what people said.
Try sushi.
And Moise is actually one of my school friends. And he somewhat pressured me into go into swimming and really get into the whole really part, techniques and stuff. So I guess some of my friends still influence me in some way, one or another.
Okay, so it's interesting. I still have a lot of questions for you guys, but right now we should just go on a break first, and we'll see you in a bit and hear what other people say, other thoughts and
Peer pressure.
See you in a bit.
So in my opinion, the positive and negative aspect of peer pressure, in positive aspect first, they will, for example, in a group they would produce an effective work. They motivate each other and they support each other. However, in negative aspect, they would have bad conflict, miscommunication, and etc. In how does the positive aspect of peer pressure, for example, a group must create a high cohesive and also give a very positive norm to each other. So from that they would make a very effective teamwork.
To me, negative aspect of peer pressure can be based on having a personal conflict, individual difference in work styles, ambiguous agenda and ill-defined problems. In positive aspect of peer pressure is when a group of people perform as an effective group and motivate one another early. Okay, parents joining in to know their children's friends and keep a close eye on their behavior and try to encourage good influences shown in their social activities, which then can be brought till their later age.
And we're back to Talk Zone.
Yeah, when we talked about the issue on peer pressure, and we have a couple of guests here to talk about the issue with us. So back to the question is Mahyuddin says sometimes he feels pressure that real, such as joining swimming and everything. So we should, if we have anything to say back to Mahyuddin, then we should ever feel pressure to do something that he does.
I don't think so.
So you're the one who's pressuring him.
Yes, you can say that. Positively though.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone's here is kind of talking about like within the friend circle, say that there's kind of positive and negative aspects, and kind of sometimes you're pulled towards things that maybe we shouldn't do that's negative. But what do you think parents' roles are in kind of helping a child's kind of and helping them in terms of understanding kind of what peer pressure is? So, Ms.
Well, parents can help rectify a situation for them to do something that is good instead of bad, morally, religiously, they need to know. It's quite important.
So what are you, Mahyuddin?
Well, one more thing that parents should know is that they should really get involved with their children. They should really get to know them, really get to know their friends. I'm not saying that they should add their Facebook, but they should really, get to know them. So what kind of person are influencing their children? So I think that's one. And secondly, I think the parents need to tell their children to say no. Say no to things. It's simple, right?
Would you say the same as well? Kind of
Did you agree?
The idea of like saying no to certain things.
I think I agree. Well, I think the most important thing that parents should do would be to give their children confidence, to remind them every day that they are perfect the way they are, and that they should make their own decisions. And because some people they easily they get pressured easily because they don't believe in themselves, and I think that's one of the things. We are sometimes people are shy and they're unsure, and I think parents should tell their children every day that you should think for themselves, that they're great the way they are. Young people spend their time more in school. So do you agree? Do you think that peer pressure happens more in school? I guess peer pressure, of course it happens in school, because that's the time where you hang out with a lot of people, and there's a lot of people in the society, different people. Because at home you only have your family to hang out with, and they're the only people who you see. So I'm guessing school would be the major place where peer pressure would be happening. Or probably when they hang out with their friends outside the school, and they meet new friends there. So what do you think about it? I mean, do you think peer pressure happens more in school or outside of school?
Definitely more in school. Because, I don't know, teenagers, teenage life is kind of weird a little, like how weird? Because we're just getting to know ourselves. Well, I'm going to have to disagree a little on that. I mean, peer pressure doesn't necessarily happen in school, especially here in Brunei, because everyone is wearing uniform, right? And so it's kind of equal, I guess. I mean, probably overseas when they free, like they wear whatever they want, and
no dress code,
and they're probably going to be more pressure, like, oh, this is how I'm supposed to dress, or I'm supposed to wear a short skirt because everyone is wearing it. I guess there's less peer pressure in school in terms of equality. I guess so.
So what do you guys think about kind of like other like ways of coping with it? Kind of like apart from this idea about self-confidence and this idea about the parents' role, kind of I don't know, what other ways would you say
to the viewers? To help them deal with pressure? I guess one of the things would be believing in yourself, and always remind yourself what would be the right thing to do, because I I guess sometimes you don't realize what you're doing until you do it, and you forget. And mostly just keep reminding yourself about you're a Muslim and what's the good and bad thing, and that's one of the things that will help you to become a better person. Would be being a good person.
That's definitely a good point.
Well, it all comes down to the individual, really. They need to be more aware of the situation. They need to learn themselves more. They need to know what's right and what's wrong, as Ainul said, as a Muslim, religiously and morally.
Alright.
Well, it probably comes down to limits, knowing your limits. Like, for instance, smoking. It's, I don't know, you're not supposed to smoke because it's just terrible. Biologically, socially,
I guess it's the idea about kind of how you hang out with people or how you understand people socially. Because essentially, say, people perhaps want to smoke, say, because they hang out with a certain amount of people and they think that those people are cool, say. So, I mean, this idea about how you hang out with people socially as well might be the case as well.
Probably. Well, I mean, personally, frankly, I wouldn't agree with friends that smoke. But if I do, I'll be like, you guys should stop smoking. It's not cool. I'm cool. I'm not smoking. I'm just saying, man, it ain't cool.
So how can peer pressure be harnessed to be more positive, would you say? I would say you would embrace peer pressure when it comes to things that are positive, just like the normal things, and just fight it when it's to do something with negative. That's one of the things that I would say would be good. Mahyuddin, how about you?
Because she was talking about kind of like, harnessing when it's good, harnessing when it's bad, and this idea about balance, and we were talking about limits as well. So what, like, bringing those two things together, what do you think kind of harness it?
To be more positive.
Yeah, to be more positive. Well, it all comes down to who you hang out with. So if you're hanging out with, positive people, you're surrounded with positive figures, I guess. That's how you can harness
you're saying
positive peer pressure.
You should know who your friends are.
The role of parents as well, kind of knowing who your
positive figure in general. I completely agree with both of them, especially Ainul, because you really need to defy the pressure that is leading you to do something bad, and you need to embrace and choose the right path. The peer pressure that will lead you to have a better future. That's just
and in terms of not just in academic work, but also outside that in school, because you're going to leave school and then kind of those choices become more varied, and there's going to be far more groups for you to kind of get sucked into. But I guess as long as you make positive friends,
positive friends.
Any last words on peer pressure? I guess believe in yourself, and you should know yourself better, because self-identity, it's really hard for us teenagers. This is the time where we get to know ourselves, but you actually know yourself, and that's the most important thing. You should be proud of who you are and not fall into peer pressure all the time. And you, Mahyuddin, any last words on peer pressure?
One thing I'm gonna say is you just gotta be confident. You gotta be strong. There's something that you believe, and just be yourself. Ultimately, just be yourself.
And vitamins.
Just believe in yourself. That's all.
Everyone wants to believe in themselves.
But it might not be easy for those who are very self-conscious. That's, I guess, where the parents really come in. But then, if they don't have it at home, that could be hard. So initially, you need to, be strong as a person, as yourself, to use, you get what I'm trying to say. So, we have a very fruitful conversation about this.
I would definitely say that, like what everyone has said, kind of channel what people say into something positive, and also kind of try to move away from people that might bring you down. if you can't find those people, perhaps go on YouTube, find some motivational
You have to
speaker.
realize who you're hanging out with. You have to know these people are good for me, these people won't bring me success in the future.
So I guess the term peer pressure always has a negative connotation to it because of the term pressure, but people need to realize that it also could be harnessed to be more positive. I guess that's what we're trying to raise here. And so it's been a very fruitful conversation. I really like to thank everyone for coming here. Thank you, Ainul, Apri, Mahyuddin, Othman, and also Khalid, and also to the restaurant. You want to say it, right?
Mangrove Paradise.
Yeah. So it's the end of the show, guys. We'll see you next time. I'm Afiefah.
And I'm Faiq.
Bye.